Don't lie to me now. Is your game still using the default font? I sure hope not. Well, worry not, my friend, for in this video I'll show you how you can level up your text. It takes like 10 minutes, and best of all, it makes all kinds of text configurations in the future a lot easier, saving you a lot of time in the long run. We'll do this in 3 quick steps. The first step is to download and import a font into Unity. The second step is to add icons to our text, and stay tuned for the third step, because it will really level up your text in-game. So first of all, let's make sure we have our TextMesh Pro imported into our project. So we can do that by just adding a TextMesh Pro text component, and if you haven't imported it already, it will prompt you to import it. Then I usually like to create a new folder for my text and font stuff, just to keep my project organized. Next we'll go to Google Fonts. You can search for fonts you like, or just look through them and find something you like. We will use the Barlow semi-condensed for this tutorial, as it has a lot of different variants. So just click Get Font and then download your selected font. Next we'll extract the zip file and drag the whole extracted folder into our project. And then just select all of the font variants except the text file, and right click and go to Create TextMesh Pro and Font Asset and SDF. This will create SDF font assets from each of the font assets. Now I like to take the regular styling and drag it to the top folder and rename it to keep it concise, just so I can easily find my main font asset. Next we'll go to the TextMesh Pro settings file, the settings asset, and we want to change the default font to use our newly added font. This way, if you create a new text component or a button with text or anything, it will by default use our new text font asset. Now you can see when we set the text to bold, you can see that the edges are not very accurate. This is because Unity is using kind of simulated bolding of the text. This is because we haven't yet assigned our font variants into our main font asset. So you want to select the default regular main font asset and just drag and drop all of the different variants into the proper fields. Now you can see when we change the font weight, the font changes properly and looks much better than before. Here are all the different variants we have imported. But you can see the italic regular looks a bit odd. It doesn't look quite like the others. This is because we forgot to assign it in the font asset. So once we drag and drop the correct font in place, you can see now it also looks good. So next we'll add icons to our text. So I have imported this icon sheet with a coin and a gem, and you also want to just have a 512 by 512 pixel image with the 4x4 icons in it. We'll do this the easy way, which is just copy paste the emoji1 default emoji sheet and just replace the texture with our own icon sheet texture. Then you can rename the different icons so that they are easier to use. Now here's the examples of how to use the different sprites in your text. But you can see that it's using the default sprites instead of our icons for the gem and the coin. Now this is because we haven't set the default emoji sheet in our TextMesh Pro settings. So go to the settings and drag and drop our new icon sheet into it, and you can see it immediately updated the sprites. Now I have also these dark and light variants of the icons, but they are not being rendered correctly. If you want to use multiple sprite assets, you can have them inside the TextMesh Pro /resources folder. I have them in a subfolder called custom, but we have to update the path for the default sprite assets to match this folder. So once I add the custom / into the path, now you can see the variants are being located properly. Now, if you followed these steps and your sprites are not rendering properly, You should try to restore Unity. I had to do it a couple times to get some things working. So if that doesn't fix it, you can put down a comment below and I'll see if I can help. Now let's take your text to the next level using style sheets. So let's create a new style sheet and name it appropriately. And then let's add some new styles into it. So I will first go to the TextMesh Pro settings once again and make sure that the default style sheet is assigned to our new style sheet. Then let's create a couple styles. I will create one style for coins and one style for gems, just for demonstration. So we want our coin and gem styles to change the weight of the text to make it a bit bolder and then also add some color to our text. So we will use the HTML style tags to do this. Remember to always close the tags, otherwise your style will bleed to the rest of the text that's supposed to be after the tags, after the style. So here we can see the style syntax in use. You add the style tag and add the correct name of the style into the tag. And anything you write within the tags will now have your styling applied to it. So, oops, we still have the wrong color for the gems tag. And we have still a couple more things how we can really take this to the next level. So let's add a sprite into the tag. So if we add our coin sprite, oops, there we go. Now our coin, now our resource texts are looking really nice. Now let's just fix all the color and now there we go, it's looking much better. Now you can even add a space tag, so you can really fine control how far the icon is from the text. So with this method you have a lot of control over how your text will look. In addition, whenever you want to make changes to your text style, you don't have to edit it everywhere where you have text. You can just edit the style sheet and it will automatically change your text everywhere you have it. Now here we have some other examples of effects I've made using this system. You can use like uppercase and different kind of colorings, as well as italics and highlighting to really make some very interesting effects. You can also add these brackets or other characters into your text, for example, for the shortcut effect. If you, for example, have a prompt telling the player to press some keyboard shortcut, then this would be a really good way to stylize those. If you found this useful, make sure to subscribe to the channel and watch my next video right here.